And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. Back the early kickoff. And you know me, bro, I never back the early kickoff. Finesse like.
What's going on, people? Welcome to Never Back the Early Kickoff, episode 16. The podcast that keeps you one step ahead of the bookies while having a proper laugh doing it. No filters, no nonsense, just solid picks, proper chat, and a weekly reminder that backing the early kickoff does ruin lives. My name is Leon, and I have a sixth sense for picking players to be carded.
And I'm Josh, and I love an accas more than life itself. So talk to me, it's been a couple of weeks since we last on the video. What's been going on?
Mate, there's been loads going on. I feel like so much has changed in the Prem. It's mad how much things can...
Guess what hasn't changed?
What hasn't changed?
We've really been the best team in the world.
Well, you definitely, your title charge is over because you fumbled it at Crystal Palace like you always do.
Yeah.
Title charge is over. That's gone.
We're still the best team in the world.
Yeah, if you say so. We're hot on your heels now, mate. We've put together a right good run of form over Christmas. A right good run of form.
I'm not worried about it. Not worried.
You're not worried, mate? The quadruple's on for us. We're still in all four competitions, mate. All four of the big boy competitions. None of this Europa League nonsense. None of this like being out the League Cup early doors, mate. The quad's on for us.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, we're in the semi-finals of the League Cup. Champions League, we're sitting in the qualifications zone at the minute. PSV at home is our next game, which we should win. FA Cup, we got through against Bournemouth, which is a tricky game. And then the league, all right, there's still a bit of work to do in the league. But, we're on good form. We're on some good form.
You are in good form, to be fair, but just not as good as us, are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm happy that we stuck that bit on at the start of the season because I still think we got a chance of tracking you down. You're going to fumble it back end of the season.
Well, we're still 11 points ahead. Well, that was bollocks. That was absolute bollocks.
I'm excited, and then I'm excited because we've got you coming up soon as well. In a couple of end of January, we've got you. We get that win at St James's, and then we cut the deficit to 6 points, and we're right on your tail. So we shall see. But
where did you get 6 points from? We're 11 points ahead.
Because by the time we play you, you're going to drop points in your next game against Wolves, and then you play us at the back end of the month. So we're going to.
No, you've got Wolves. You've got Wolves on the weekend. We've got Everton.
Yeah, so we'll beat Wolves, and you've got Everton. So you'll drop points against Everton, that'll be a draw. We'll beat Wolves, cut it down a bit more. We'll beat you at the end of the month, cut it down a bit more. So
right. You are California dreaming, you are.
We'll revisit this in Feb and see where we stand. But the quad, what I can say is the quad is still firmly on. But a lot's happened, hasn't it? Because, mate, so much has happened in the world of the Premier League. Like, Amarin's gone. Maresca's gone.
But about time for Amarin. I could literally sit here for hours and just dissect how terrible his reign was and what the fuck am Man United doing. I actually agreed with Gabby Abonglahor for once.
Oh, God, that must be a first.
Yeah. What is Man United's DNA? Pathetic.
Yeah. I mean, the thing for me is, like, everyone was, like, hammering his system because his system hasn't worked in the Prem. And like we can all agree that it hasn't worked and the players look quite clueless. The thing that's made me laugh the most is that like Fletcher's come in and gone straight to a back four and they've just looked just as crap with a back four. That's what makes me laugh the most.
Yeah. And then the one about obviously getting Glasner, that seems like kind of like the manager they seem to be getting who also plays five at the back. So it's like
they're going to get Glasner.
He's out of contract, isn't he? He's out of contract.
I think they're going to get Glasner because you can't sit there and have your director of football or your sporting director, whatever that Wilcox is, saying to Amarin, you've got to play a four at the back and then go and get in Glasner. But the only thing about Glasner that I would say is I don't think he's a three at the back, five at the back manager. I just think he's a manager that just plays a system to suit the players.
Oh dear.
So like, because everyone's saying he's a five at the back manager, but I think if he went into Man United, I don't think he'd play five at the back.
Well,
he'd just play what he needs to. You need to be worried about Unai Emery, mate, because I'm hearing his name bandied around.
Nah, man, I'm not worried at all. Anyway, shape or form, not worried at all.
So, because he's definitely one that I've heard like rumours about.
Yeah, but it's rumours. I don't think he'll leave. I don't think he wants to leave. At the end of the day, going to Man United, boys and chalice.
Do you not think he's pissed off at the old PSR stuff at Villa? He's basically hit the ceiling at Villa. He got you in the Champions League and couldn't spend money. So even if he gets you Champions League this year, he won't be able to spend money. So what's the point?
Yeah, but the other thing is, going to Man United, he's not going to have the control and kind of the background stuff that he does now. When you go to Man United, you're a coach. You're not a manager. He's usually just a coach. Where at Villa, he's a manager. He controls a lot of things in the background, what he wants, and he has direct contact with the owners. And I guess they built the club around him and what he wants. Man United isn't going to do that. So why would he leave that comfort for a little bit of an extra pay packet, which we probably could match anyway?
He wants to go to a bigger club.
And Man United a bigger club right now. The history is a bigger club, but not right now. No.
Man United are a bigger club than Aston Villa.
In terms of history, yeah, but in terms of footballing, over the past 5 seasons, they're not a bigger club.
Well, how do you measure that?
Well, I'm saying in terms of history, yeah.
They've won more trophies than you. They've won more trophies than you. They've got a bigger stadium. They make more money. The only thing you've got on them is you finished ahead of them in the league a couple of years. Why are you a bigger club?
Well, we're a better club. We're a better club than them. We finish above them every season.
But they've been to more finals and won more trophies.
Why, the last 5 years? Or did they win one Carabao Cup?
They've won the League Cup. They've won the FA Cup. Got to a Europa League final.
Well, getting to a final means nothing. Spurs have got to a couple of finals in the past 10 years, means nothing.
Yeah, but I just think to sit there and say Villa are a better club is crazy. But each to the road.
They're in terms of finances and history, yeah. But in terms of the past 5 seasons, okay, they've won a League Cup. But I don't think Emery's had the Arsenal job, he's had the PSG job, but it's not worked out for him. So
maybe he wants to right that wrong. The only thing you've got is, like you say, he's got more control and more power at Villa. That's it. But it's like, what do you want to be? Do you want to be in your comfort zone where you're the main man, or do you want to push to the next level? Because a lot of players tend to go to bigger clubs, even though they're the main player at the club. Like they'll tend to leave for a bigger club.
Well, we'll see, won't we? But I don't think he'll leave.
No, you best hope he doesn't leave, mate, because he's literally carrying you on his back.
Yeah.
If he goes, best believe he's taking Morgan Rogers with him. And that's the end of Villa. Emery and Rogers out of that team, you're bottom half.
I wouldn't quite put it that far, but yeah, we wouldn't be great.
No, so that's it. And what do you think of old Liam Rosenior in the Chelsea role?
Yes, man. You literally, like what for? You've not done anything in the world of football, really. Was he? Like, he's just managed Strasbourg, done all right. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not done too bad, but like, again, it's the same thing you expect from the United job. When you like the Chelsea job, you expect it to be the best managers in the world that are getting like the game, not some just like yes man from Spain, from France. That's like Bob basic football career, half a management career. Wouldn't even call it half a management career. Dipped his only water in a management career. He's not like a big name like an Ancelotti or a Zidane or an Enrique, is he?
No.
I didn't even know he was managing. I didn't even know he was managing.
I only remember him managing Hull for a little bit, doing all right at Hull, and that was about it. But how you go from Hull to Strasbourg to Chelsea is just ridiculous.
Well, it's all part of the ownership group, isn't it? But what's funny is they brought him in, gave him a 6-year contract and said, oh, if you don't finish the Champions League spot, you're getting a sack. Why give him a 6-year contract then? It makes no sense.
All Chelsea do is hand out these massive contracts. That's all they do.
Yeah, but that literally makes no sense, though, does it? I'll give you a 6-year contract, but if you don't do what we say by the end of the season, you got the sack.
I don't understand why football's going in this direction. To coaches and why? Because the way my brain looks at this is, when a manager is a proper manager and they're allowed to control more and have more influence,
they'll do better.
The club tends to do better. The only example I've got that I can think of where that's not the case would be Ten Hag, who's just fucking terrible and just wasted all their money. I get that. But
yeah, but he was still just a coach. He was still just a coach, though.
No, but he got a lot of saying, like, because that was when Ed Woodward was there, as he was the money man, and then Ten Hag got to basically pick the players, and he spent so much bad money there, so
Yeah.
much, like Onana, Anthony, like there was so many buys they had who were just terrible. Rasmus Højlund, like just.
He's doing well now. So a lot of players that have left Man United have gone on to succeed or do well. McTominay, MVP in Italy. Højlund is doing well.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with how much they spent on them. If you buy,
No. But what I'm saying is that is it the manager or is it the club? There's something not right in the background of the club because all these players are getting bombed or they're going, "Oh, we're leaving because we're not doing A, B, and C," and then they go on to succeed. And this has been going on since Fergie left. There's been loads of players.
But that's for me. It doesn't matter if the player goes on to do well; it's still a waste of money. But in terms of the like where it's going with management, why do you think it's going more like coach, head coach? Because I don't understand why these sporting directors lurk in the background, get a big stay on players.
Well, Chelsea
They never take any of the flack when it goes wrong.
Well, Chelsea have got like 6 directors of football or sporting directors or something. They've got like 6.
Yeah, but
why?
Yeah, it's stupid. But it's the same. I know United haven't got as many, but it's the same at United with this Wilcox fella. Like, why have you got so many people in the background who have so much influence, but then don't get blamed when it goes wrong?
What was it? Was it Dean Ashworth? Is it that nicked off you and then they couldn't? Like, was it Dean Ashworth? The guy that nicked off you, wasn't he a sporting director?
Yeah.
Was it Ashworth?
Was it Dean? Yeah, it was Ashworth. Yeah.
He was definitely Ashworth. And it's the same thing with him. Like, they nicked him off you. Then because of the contract, he was like, "Okay, we got to wait like 6 months or something through like his from contract obligations." And then all of a sudden, they didn't sack him after like 3 months.
Yeah, they had him in the door, and I think that was because they couldn't agree on the manager. Because I don't think he wanted Amorim in, but then they went and got Amorim anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't know why it's moved away from managers to coaches. I don't understand. Like I feel like you should just basically say we want a manager. Not that he has. Not like it's Ferguson Wenger era where like they control everything. But I feel like if you're going to get a manager who's got more control and power because players will just down tools and go, well, he's only the head coach. The club will fuck him off soon, and then.
But do you think that's down to the managers or slash coaches that have got coming through? So, like, I don't know, there's loads of stories, like, back in the day, for example, like Harry Redknapp. He wouldn't run training. He wouldn't be coaching. He'd just be in his office, dude. He'd be on his office betting on horses. Yeah, because he's a manager.
He'll have his team
yeah, and then he's got his coaches, and then like Martin O'Neill. These stories about him, and it's just like, yeah, he never ran a training session, and he's like he was just was a manager, and then he ran everything else, and then he had his coaches. So is it now these people that have inserted themselves into football that not necessarily loads of them have actually even got a football background, like a playing background or a management background, and then they're just going, oh, yeah, we're making all these decisions, and it's like, well, you've never played the game, you've never been involved in the game, you've just kind of worked your way up into these positions.
Yeah, I just don't know why football's going this way because I can't think of again, I could be wrong, but I can't think of too many clubs that are going down this model where it's like really successful. Like,
yeah, it's all like a power vacuum now, isn't it? Someone wants power. So what's the way to get more power? We don't have a manager, we have a coach, and I control the coach. It's just a power vacuum.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's equaling success. But I just again like I just prefer like I sound like a right old man here, but like I much preferred how it used to be. Just manager, he oversaw, had the power. And then because then, like, if he gets sacked because they're doing crap, he can't blame no one. It's like, well, yes, I was in control. Whereas now you got Amorim, who's like, well, they didn't give me the players I wanted. I've got the sporting director telling me I need to change my formation. And I think Amorim should have been sacked, don't get me wrong. But if you don't get the players you want, and you got people telling you you've got to change your system. Like Maresca, he left apparently because they were telling him he had to rotate players and pick certain players for games. So what bullshit is that?
Yeah, and he was apparently he was going to get some medical staff's advice as well. And he was falling out the medical staff saying, oh, so-and-so should have, 60 minutes rather, and he was just playing them full game. Gives a fuck.
Yeah. Madness. Absolute madness.
So we've had a general catch-up about the kind of world of football over the past couple of weeks. So let's get on to the reason why we're here. What's been going on in the betting front?
Up and down. Up and
Yeah.
down, up and down, up and down. What annoys me is usually the Christmas period and going into New Year. Because there's so many games, it's usually a fruitful time of year for me. And I know it's been good to you in the past as well. So I always go in with the expectation that I'm going to end up with like quite a lot up. But this year it sort of was about 50-50, pretty even. Some good wins, but then like I've had quite a few losses as well. So it's been up and down. I mean, I had an ACCA going, which I think I mentioned on the last podcast. And I only needed, I think it was 8 teams left. It was 8 or 6 teams left, I can't remember. But they were all like heavy favourites. And then so it was going into the new year, 6 teams left. And the first team to play was Marseille. They were at home to Nantes. I think Marseille were 2-9 at home. Marseille just smashing everyone in sight. And some dickhead got sent off after about 39 minutes. I think it was Veerman. After like 39 minutes, they sent him in. He just took a red. And then they just got beaten by Nantes comfortably. And that was just heartbreak. And that was like, welcome to 2026. That was for 1,600 quid, mate. And I was literally counting that money. Because I was thinking all of these are like absolute bankers. So like Marseille just absolutely.
Have any of us gone down since?
I've had another one that went down. So the other one that went down, mate. And this is why I don't like betting when it's the FA Cup. Because the magic of the FA Cup. Yes, I did have Crystal Palace. And I just had Crystal Palace to put the bonus up for no other reason than to add to the bonus. Because I had like a 16-fold. I could have just left it at that. But then I just thought, I'm going to get greedy now. And I just thought, I'm going to add a few FA Cup games on. Like I put Wolves on. Wolves are playing someone terrible. Can't think who Wolves are playing. Who do Wolves play?
Was it like Chesterfield or something like that?
I think it was Shrewsbury. I'm going to say Shrewsbury. I think Wolves are playing Shrewsbury. But then obviously I had Crystal Palace against Macclesfield. And the thing is, I actually watched a bit of that game. And I could tell straight away that the Palace lads just did not fancy it one bit. And I was thinking to myself, what have I done here? And even when Macclesfield went 1-0 up, and I was thinking, Palace will turn this round. Glasner put on some of the big hitters at half-time. And when Macclesfield went 2-0 up, Matt, I just thought, what is happening here? It got to the point where I was like, do you know what? This ain't going to come in now, so I actually really want Macclesfield to do this. And then Yeremy Pino scored a free kick in like the last minute, and I was like, if Palace scumbag a 2-2 and win on in extra time now, it's going to piss me off so much.
Yeah.
So Macclesfield, fair play to you. Usually when a team kill my bet, I'm pissed off with them, but fair play to Macclesfield, mate. Magic of the FA Cup. Don't usually bet FA Cup weekend. No one to blame but myself, and that was just greed that cost me that one. So that wound me up as well a little bit, but fair play to Macclesfield. So those were 2 main accas that have gone down. I've got one that's ticking over because I put on another acca but left off the FA Cup games, and that one's still ticking along. So that's a 15-fold and 8 of 1. So I've got 7 left on that.
And when does that end?
That's 1,200. What's that?
And when does that end? Is that like the Champions League games next week?
Yeah, that's the 21st of Jan, mate, with Chelsea versus Paphos at Stamford Bridge.
So you got teams this weekend and then Chelsea Paphos.
I've got Bayern
as well. Yeah.
I don't know why I've got Juventus tonight against Cremonese. Juventus are horrible. I don't know why I've got Juventus. Jamie Vardy's Cremonese. Going to be a Vardy party tonight, mate. He's got 5
party,
goals
like Jamie.
39. Yeah, it's going to be a Vardy party. So Juventus at home to Cremonese. I've got Inter at home. I think Inter are playing Lecce on Wednesday. They're playing someone bad.
Yeah, they're playing someone crap, yeah.
But Bayern away at Cologne on the weekends. I've got Arsenal away at Forest, which is a bit risky, but Arsenal just look so good at the moment. So I've got Arsenal away at Forest. And then I've got 3 Champions League games. I've got Barca away at Sparta Prague.
You got Bayern again, ain't you?
Bayern against Union St. Gillian. And then I've got Chelsea against Paphos. So I've got those 7 teams left. If they all land, that'll be 1,200. So that's the one that I'm quite... I'd say I'm quite confident on it, mate. But I need to get through Juventus Cremonese today.
Well, Bayern are playing Cologne on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday then. Well, yeah. So they're the last 7 teams. So got that one still ticking along. So that's given me a little bit of hope. But that was my... on the ACCA front. In terms of in-plays, I've got quite a few wrong in-play cards. The one that really annoyed me was Joel Veltman yesterday in the FA Cup. Joel Veltman loves the yellow card. And he kept like mouthing off after decisions were going against him. And I was like, this kid's going in. And then I was like, I had him first card. And then he booked Kobe Mainu first. So I thought, right, I'm going to go in again on Veltman because he's acting a right knob. And then the manager went and pulled him off and went to a 5 at the back, not 5 minutes later. And that absolutely broke my soul. He subbed him off for like Iari. And Iari went into centre mid, man, and just didn't go near anyone. And
yeah,
one of them. Up so much. The other guy that got subbed on was this Greek centre forward, and he got booked in the 90th minute for rowing with Maguire. So I was like, if only that Veltman had gone for him, would have won it.
That's
yeah. So yeah, and then I had it was a Super Cup with Madrid and Barca last night.
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Did you see the chances that Madrid missed at the end?
No, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game, but I put that Carrias on the left back against Yamal, left card. And he fouled him once, and then he, like, for no reason, he just stamped on his foot off the ball. And the ref saw it, ran over it, and I was like, right, that's it. I had him at, like, 40 on. He was 10-1. I was thinking, right, that's 440 quid. He just stamped on his foot, and the ref's running over. The ref ran over and gave him a final warning. All the Barca players were booting off. And then he went and done another foul on him. So he fouled him 3 times in the first half, nothing. And then...
he got booked late on. I watched a bit at the end of it.
He got booked, I think he got booked like 88th minute or something.
He missed a huge chance to equalise, like last kicks, like 90 plus minutes. Like literally, fouled him in the box. He just composure on 0, just literally slightly straight down the keeper's throat.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm not into the I'm not into the Barca Real Madrid game as much as I used to be.
Oh no, it's nothing like it was used to be.
Growing up, and like I used to love watching that El Clasico, like back, when it was the Galactico era. Then when it was like Ronaldinho, Eto'o.
I just remember the one. We watched with the 5-0 where Puyol and did someone poke Puyol in the eye? Was it Mourinho poked someone in the eye or something?
No, it was Sergio Ramos.
That was it. It's Ramos poked Puyol in the eye, was it?
Yeah. He pushed Puyol to the ground and slapped Xavi in the face as he got sent off after he nailed Lionel Messi for no reason.
Yeah.
So, like, I look back and think Galactico era was great. Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Henry, that team when they used to pace Madrid was great. That was the one when Ronaldinho got clapped at the Bernabeu for scoring those 2 unbelievable goals. Then it was the Messi. Then it was like Messi v Ronaldo for like years. That battle.
Yeah, that was naughty.
Then it went up to from Messi v Ronaldo. Then it was BBC versus MSN.
Yeah,
like, I've had some real good teams going at it, but now I look at it and it just ain't the same. Like that game just ain't the same.
It's not the same.
So I literally I didn't watch it properly, but I was sort of just checking in to see if Carrias got books, and he got books at the end, which really pissed me.
Yeah, well, I just watched like 10-15 minutes of it, just keep it on.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the same appeal, mate. It's all about the Premier League these days. So that was that one didn't come in for me, but the ones that I did win, I've actually won a few, a couple of first player cards. So I had Alan Niam. He's just this man. I've spoken about him before. He was the guy that won it, elbowed Vinny.
Did he play? Was it the one that used to play for Watford? Was it?
Yeah, he come on and he's the one that elbowed Vinny, and I couldn't get him on in time. I've been keeping an eye on him for a while because he always gets booked first if he starts, and he started against Kuba, that Japanese winger from Sociedad, and I just thought there's no chance he doesn't go in today, so I'll cover him first, and he went in first. So that was a nice little win. And then I also won a decent win on Mr. Jack Grealish. I went in play on him when they were playing Wolves because Everton were cruising, and then Michael Keane got sent off for pulling that centre forward's hair.
Yeah.
So, which is just the game's gone, mate. The game's gone. Look, obviously you shouldn't do that. Like you shouldn't. Well, that it's a foul. You can't be. It's not violent conduct to have a tug on someone's hair.
I'm sure someone's been sent off for pulling hair before. Sure, Cucurella was it?
Someone pulled Cucurella's hair.
Yeah,
but it's not. Yeah. It's not. If it's in the rules, it's in the rules. It's in the rules. But for me, that's soft to send someone off for that.
I think pulling is quite embarrassing though.
You think what?
I think pulling someone's hair is quite embarrassing, so you deserve a card for that.
No, it's embarrassing. Like it's ridiculously embarrassing. But I just
you can't put head in someone's hair.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a red card. I think to get sent off for that, like, he's just, yeah. For me, the game's gone. But Sakine got sent off for that hair pull, and then obviously then Everton just completely lost the Reds. Jack Grealish, when I say his head fell off, his head fell fully off. And I always like Jack against Wolves anyway because of the Midlands rivalry. I know it's not Blues, but he's been booked before playing for Villa against Wolves a couple of times.
Yeah.
So in my back of my mind, I thought, I'm going to keep an eye on Jack today. The minute he started mouthing off at that ref, mate, I went in on him and got him at 11-1. And then I remember messaging you in the chat saying, his head's gone here. Literally, as soon as I've clicked send on that message, he got booked for mouthing off at the ref. And what I should have done was I should have gone in on him again to get sent off because he didn't calm down. And then literally he got fouled about 5 minutes later, got up and clapped in the ref's face and got sent, mate. So that was another decent win for me. Grealish at 11-1. So like I said, mate, it's not been the couple of weeks I was hoping for, but I've still ended up roughly around evens, maybe like a few quid up. But so that was me then. How about you? How have the last couple of weeks treated you?
Do you know what? Not the best. It's been a bit up and down. I've had a couple of tick-over wins, but again, I've had a couple of like letdowns. So obviously, I think I've just tried to be chasing the long shots too much, which we'll talk about a bit later on, rather than just trying to get more tick-over wins and still keep the long shots in the background. So like over the past few weeks, obviously the other day was City Chelsea, wasn't it? Obviously that geezer's game, I can't remember his name, Chelsea. Before they're coming, Man City Chelsea. There was that geezer that's just like the academy coach that was coaching.
Oh, the one that stood in. I forget his name. The stand-in.
I can't remember his name. The caretaker. So I had City to win, and obviously they conceded late. So that let me down for 300 quid, which is really annoying. And then I had another one on with City and Leeds to beat United, and obviously Leeds went 1-0 up and then shut the bed, didn't they? So that let me down for 600. But then, annoyingly, I wasn't watching the game. So I was driving and I was listening to it on TalkSport, and it was just before Leeds scored. They said Perrin, the Leeds goalkeeper, was on his final warning for time wasting. So I pulled over, put the keeper on. So I was like, well, TalkSport says last warning, it's 0-0. He's obviously he's been taking a piece the whole game, trying to play for a draw. So I pulled over, put the goalkeeper on. Carried on, they've gone 1-0, so I'm like, okay, he's definitely getting booked now. But obviously United score about 30 seconds later. And then, well, like, because I wasn't watching the game, but literally that's what TalkSport said. It's like, oh, he's literally got his last warning now for time wasting. So I was like, well, he's just taking the piss on it. And so that didn't come in, which was annoying. Over the Christmas period, it was up and down. Like I said, I had a couple of small tick-over wins, but again, just the results haven't been as like succinct as they usually are across the years. Usually, like the Christmas period, everyone just like kicks on. Like Man City again, they've been guilty of dropping so.
Man City have just died the last couple of weeks.
Although like Brighton, obviously, like 0-0 with Sunderland on New Year's Day, 1-1 with Chelsea. Ordinarily, you'd say, oh well, Chelsea's a tough game, but he's at the Etihad. They haven't even got a manager, and then they conceded late equaliser. And then drawing 1-1 Brighton. I know Brighton are a decent, solid team, but City should be beating Brighton, like, especially at this time of the season anyway, and especially at home.
Yeah.
Like, you just like waiting for City, and I don't know if they're capable, but City just to go on that like stupid run that they're going and go like 15-15, don't you?
They're not going to do it till they get centre halves back. Their defence is just a joke at the minute.
But yeah, so I think so it's just been up and down. The big teams haven't been kind of. Or generically big teams haven't been good. Like Liverpool have been stuttering as well. Like I know they've been up and down before across the season, but again, drawing at home with Leeds 0-0, shit result.
Yeah.
Fulham getting 2-2. I know it was freaky goals, but still, you know what I mean? It's just like you're not expecting more.
Yeah.
So
I think like across the Premier League and even down the lower leagues, I think this season's been a bit of a weird one. Everyone's, apart from Arsenal, like in the Premier, there's no team that's consistent. Like Brentford are smashing everyone.
I was going to say the team that I never bet on, and I need to start fucking betting on, is fucking Brentford. I had them to go down at the start of the season. They were literally on my list to go down. And like the fourth, they've got that eagle. It's a joke.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's got like 16 goals or something like that already.
16, mate, he's got 16 in about 18. It's ridiculous. Or 19. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. It's how? Like who? I've never even heard of him before this season.
Mate, he played for Ludogorets a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is. That's fucking.
I have Brentford as one of the favourites to go down, and they're just absolutely flying.
Yeah,
so it's just hard. It's hard to predict this season. It's just been one of those years where, because usually there's like, let's say 5 or 6 teams in the Prem that are quite consistent, whereas this year it's literally Arsenal, and then everyone else can beat everyone else can beat everyone else.
You say that, but Arsenal are only 6 points ahead of everyone else. They're only 6 points ahead of
Arsenal are the only team that I feel comfortable backing home and away. There's no other. Man City away anyway. I'm like no, unless they're like not even Wolves now.
Well, they say why about Arsenal? Literally, pretty much nearly shut the bed against Wolves.
I did. It proves my point. It shows how competitive it is because you think the top teams in the league. Do you fancy Chelsea?
No.
Do you trust Chelsea? No. Do you trust Liverpool? No.
No.
Like Villa have had a good run, but even, like you drew. I know Palace is a bogey team, but I never thought you were going to go to Palace and get anything.
Yeah, I
do you trust Newcastle? No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been a weird season. That's what I'm saying. So betting has been actually quite difficult because it's just like the inconsistencies of your nailed on teams. Well, even look at in Scotland, Celtic and Rangers are usually like nailed on, and then with Nancy in charge. Wilfred Nancy, what a fucking joke! Like again, they're a team that win 9 out of 10 games. Rangers 7, 8 out of 10 games, but they're consistent. But then they're both just completely shut the bed.
Yeah. Now Nancy's gone. O'Neill's back in. I had them on my acca again. I trust them with O'Neill. But I went through a period where I just wouldn't even go near having them on. And even when you go to like leagues like, again, even you go to Germany, take Bayern out of the mix. There's no one in Germany I trust.
Yeah. No.
I did in France, it's PSG and Marseille, but Marseille shit the bed from the other day. Then you go to Italy, mate, there's no one I trust.
PSG could easily throw a wobbler. They'll throw a wobbler probably 1 every 5 games.
The problem with PSG, they never put their best team out.
No.
Every time, mate, I can't tell you the last time I saw Dembele, Cavra and Doué line up in the front three.
Yeah. Like they just sort of play some random kids and like they'll play one of them or 2 of them and then some random kid.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like there's not as many teams that you can just trust these days. Like, and then don't even get me started in Italy. Because I don't know why I've got two Italian teams on my acca this week because Juventus are just draw merchants.
Inter are usually quite consistent this season.
Yeah, but they're not. Are they even top of the league?
I'll have a look.
You say
Inter top of the league. They've won 4 out of the last 5. They drew against Napoli the other day.
How many points clear are they?
Oh, really 3.
Yeah, and you just got to think they've been on a mad good run of form recently because at the start of the season, I swear they were dropping points. So, yeah, it's just difficult to read at the moment. There's just not as many teams that you can just hang your hat on.
No, I agree, and that's what makes betting really hard. Like you said, your typical bankers of like your Cities, your Liverpools, like who win 9, your Celtics, your Inters, like it's just inconsistent. And then PSG throw a wobbler once every 5 games. Bayern Munich are like probably the most consistent team, but again, they threw a couple of scares.
Bayern are good. Like that.
No. But I'm saying they have a couple. They have a couple of big scares. They've had a couple of big scares. They've gone 2-0 down. They turn it around, but they still commit scares.
Yeah, Bayern I'm confident on. Bayern I'm really confident on. But even like Spain, like I don't trust Barcelona with that high line.
I don't trust Barcelona or Madrid.
No, exactly. So it's just, yeah.
In typical seasons, like where you'd be like, okay, I'm every week I'm having Man City, Liverpool, Celtic, Rangers, Madrid, Barca. Like that's 7 teams that you guaranteed. Bayern, that's 8 teams that you guaranteed every week,
Yeah.
and
then you just pick a couple of others.
and you can't trust any of them.
No. It's weird because I'm having to like literally rely on teams in like Portugal and Turkey. You know, like your Galatasaray's and your Portos. They're the ones that I'm like, and PSV in Netherlands. They're the ones now where I'm like, they're my staples. But your odds for them are terrible. But they're the ones where I'm like, I can hang my hat on you three. I can hang my hat on Bayern. But then like all my other teams, like you just laid out then, I'd usually have it's like nope.
Like Gala, Fenerbahce, PSV, Porto, Benfica are iffy, and Sporting are still pretty consistent. Benfica are dead weird. It's just a typical Mourinho team, isn't it?
Mourinho, he's always got a 0-0 stinkering, especially away from home when he tries to rob a 1-0 and get out of there. Just can't trust him.
Or like it'll just be like a 1-0 80th minute goal and just like stressing the whole time.
Yeah.
But like you said, the staples are gone. So we've gone through the pain. Let's look at the future. We want one step closer to winning again. What are we having? What are you saying?
Yeah, mate, we need to talk it into existence. So, mate, I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling optimistic because I'm making a few little tweaks to my strategy. And there's a few good games this week, so I'm feeling quite confident. So, the games in midweek, as I said earlier, Newcastle on for the quadruple, League Cup, semi-finals, first leg. We have got 2 absolute belters. Absolute belters. You got Newcastle v City, and then you've got Arsenal Chelsea. And Josh, when it's Arsenal Chelsea, what does that mean?
Hawkins, Saka Cucurella.
That's exactly what it means. And the thing that I love is Arsenal rested Saka against did they play Portsmouth? And Cucurella got sent off in the last Prem game. So that means it doesn't carry to League Cup.
Oh shit, yeah.
So that means that Cucurella's been rested. That means that Saka's been rested. That means that them two will both start and be proper bang at it. So in the Arsenal-Chelsea game, mate, it is the usual suspects. It is the usual suspects. So it's going to be Cucurella is going in again. Saka could go in. I also fancy Moises going again. He just can't help himself.
Moises. Mate. Didn't he get booked in the FA Cup the other day?
Mate, I think he's been booked in like 6 out of his last 7 games. He just can't help it.
Outrageous, that is.
So Moises, Cucurella, potentially Saka. And then if it's not going Chelsea's way, which there's a high probability it won't be going Chelsea's way, Enzo Fernandez late for mouthing off or doing something stupid. And then I'm really interested to see who plays left back for Arsenal. Because if it's Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think he'll get booked. Or if it's Hecapie, I think he'll get booked. But my top pick for that game is Cucurella, followed by Moises. Definitely Cucurella. So I'm looking forward to that game. You got Newcastle versus Man City, League Cup as well. That's a little bit more harder to call. I'm going to do a video when lineups are up for that game because I don't know how seriously both teams are going to take it. Like we've changed our midfield so much the last couple of weeks to rotate. So I'd need to see lineups because obviously Doku's not really been playing for City as well, but they might chuck him back in the league.
Well, they've got Semenyo now as well.
So,
City are outrageous, aren't they? Dude, like if you look at this over the last they've spent £500 million and literally bought a second 11.
Yeah, and they're still not going to win the league. Madness. So off the top of my head, I fancy Joel Linton. I think he's due a destructive performance. So I fancy Joel Linton in that game. For City, a little bit harder to call. Maybe Nunes. I don't think Nunes has got the answers for Anthony Gordon if Gordon starts.
I think it depends who starts in CDM as well, if it's Nico or Rodri.
Nico's been injured.
Oh, he's injured?
So I think, Yeah, actually,
Well, what about
players
Ronda?
that I fancy. Yeah, no, Bernardo Silva. He always gets stupid yellow cards. Bernardo, Nunez, Joel Linton for that game. They're my three. Top pick Joel Linton. So, like those games midweek, semi-finals should be interesting games. AFCON, AFCON semi-final this week. The thing I like about the semi-finals is they reset the cards. So basically, if you get a yellow card, it doesn't matter unless you obviously get two yellows. So you can just take a yellow card and it means absolutely nothing at semi-final stage.
Yeah.
So my best mate Abdi Ezazuli has led his Morocco team to the semi-finals
Oh,
against
isn't he been
Nigeria.
linked with a move to the Prem?
He is.
Who is he? Is he like Bournemouth or something? I feel like it's Bournemouth.
He's definitely been linked. Mate, he should come to the Prem. Make me some more money. So old Abdi, he's going to be starting against Nigeria's right back, whose name is Bright. I think it's Bright Owusu Samuels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He plays for Blues. And he's got quite a lot of bookings this season for Blues, but he hasn't been booked in AFCON yet. So I think he's definitely going to go in against Abdi Ezazuli. Again, I'm going to do a video for that because I need to see lineups and really assess it. But with it being a semi-final, like I said, cards get wiped. So you can just take one and it means nothing.
Yeah. So good chance then you will get. Well, good chance.
Can you check when I think they play on Wednesday night. I'm sure the semis is Wednesday and the final Sunday.
Yeah.
Both
Wednesday.
semis are on the Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
So I need to see lineups. But Ezazuli's been playing all tournament, and that Bright Owusu Samuel's been playing all tournament. So I expect them two to go up against each other. So that'll be definitely a card there. Weekend, I've not picked out too many games from the weekend. The fixtures aren't that great, to be honest. Like in the Prem and across Europe.
What about the
Two
Manchester
games I've
derby?
picked out are, Manchester derby. That's literally an early kickoff. That there were no cards in that Manchester derby.
Oh, what I might do is that offside safe thing again.
Yeah. No cards in the Manchester derby. I think there will be cards this time round. But again, Man United are in a period of transition. Like, is Carrick going to have taken the team by then? What's Carrick's going to do with his first lineup? Is it still going to be Fletcher? So again, I wouldn't like to pick players to get booked until I see lineups and how they're going to set up. Because I could say, I think whoever's against Dorgu's going to get booked, so then Dorgu doesn't play. Or I could go, I think Ugarte will get booked, and then Ugarte's back on the bench again. So I'll do a video for the Manchester derby because I'm going to watch that. So that'll be a game where I think he'll throw up a few cards. I can't imagine two Manchester derbies not having a card. I think this one will have a bit more spice to it. The other game that I quite like the look of, bit of a weird one, but Spurs v West Ham. Spurs v West Ham.
Yes, London derby.
Goals in it. But Spurs are so poor at the moment, and West Ham are proper adrift. Like, West Ham have to start getting points. They signed a couple of players in January so far, like that Tati Castellanos from Lazio. So they're having a right go at it. So I think that's going to have a few cards in it. I think Paqueta, if he's back, will be going in that game, definitely. I think whoever's playing centre mid for Spurs, so whether that's Sarr, whether that's Bentancur, whether that's Paulinho, any of those three who play centre mid, I think will go in as well. So I think the Spurs-West Ham game I quite like for cards. You got to think the added spice of Kudus against his old club.
Is he injured? Is he back or is he injured?
I'm not sure.
I thought he was.
We'll have to see. But again, I'm going to wait to lineups before I do a full prediction on that one. Because again, I need to be sure of who's playing. But they're the main games though anyway. League Cup, AFCON semi-Morocco v Nigeria, Manchester derby, and West Ham Spurs. But I'm going to do videos for all of those games once lineups are out. Okay, so that's me. So how about you? What are you thinking for results? Who are you having on your account this week?
So, do we back the early kickoff?
No.
I feel like I need to.
Are you thinking Man City?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. After everything I've just said. It's just evens. It's like pretty much evens for Man City. And Man United
Man
is just
United
bad.
always scumbag a result against City when they don't deserve it. Always.
I know that's the only thing that's putting me off, but it's just so appealing. It's something so appealing. Like evens for City is ridiculous.
That's
Like,
what they've drawn the last 3 games.
yeah, I know. But it's still ridiculous to a poor Man United team.
The thing that's the killer about that is you could see Man City scoring 2 within 15 minutes and it being done. Like
Yeah.
that could easily happen.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. So like, I just think City are going to win. Like, because
They have to win.
they're just yeah, they have to. They're just so much better. Man United just so poor, but Man United just stink it sometimes.
Do you remember when
But
I
like,
just needed Liverpool at Anfield
yeah,
and they went there and got a result? When Newcastle went to Old Trafford and we got beat by them, they got away with scumbagging results they don't deserve.
I know, and that's the thing. It's just like, as much as I don't want it, but just like evens for City and United are just so poor. That's the hard part. So that's what I'm
Are you
debating.
going to commit?
I'll commit.
I want a decision from you now. People want to know, are you having Man City or what?
I've already committed. I've already got one account.
That's brave, that.
I've only got one account. So far anyway. Obviously, I might do another one on the day once the lineups come out. But I just think United are just so poor, and City need to win. And like they kind of, I know score obviously they only play next step, but it's like they need to put out a statement, but like we're back. Like Arsenal, we're coming for you. They need to do it. If they go and draw or lose at Old Trafford, the league's done. Unless Arsenal like really shit the bed, like they need to go on one of them stupid runs, and Man United's where it starts. Like actually, Exeter would have been where it starts, but like they need to. They've got no choice. So, like, will Pep allow being outsmarted by a caretaker manager again?
It's not about being outsmarted, man. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat Pep's Man City team when Pep had a much better team than that. It's not about Man U. Like Ahmed Diallo scored 2 90th minute goals against them the one year.
I know.
And they absolutely played him off the park. Like Man United just have a way of. I've said it 3 times. They just have a way of just getting the result.
I think with City, like lately, obviously take away the extra game, they go 1-0 up and then they just don't get that second. They just don't seem ruthless enough at the moment to get that second. Like,
yeah, when you look at it, though, it's mad though because if you look at them now and you think they could play as a front 3, like Cherky, Haaland, and Semenyo, and then bring off the bench if they wanted to Foden and Doku. I mean, Foden will start because he always plays well in derbies. Foden does.
yeah.
But
That's what I mean. I've seen so many. That one where it was like 6-3, and it was just like Haaland and Foden just hat trick. Like,
could easily happen.
do you know what? I'm going balls deep, mate. City, I'm going for it. I've already got them on an echo anyway. So
Brave.
I also fancy Liverpool at home to Burnley if STK is back, because I watched them the other day. And they just looked poor against Arsenal. They just looked poor with that front, man. There's like getting to the box and there's just no one in there doing anything. Gakpo was supposed to be playing through the middle. He just sat on the left-hand side. Wirtz was
playing up front. Wirtz was playing like as a false 9, mate. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just never had. So I think STK.
You know what it looked like to me? What it looked like to me watching that game? It looked like Liverpool were trying to play like a training session possession game in Arsenal's half. It was like, let's just keep the ball in Arsenal's half and just not try and get in the box.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. And then I've got Stockport at home to Rotherham. I think Stockport are flying.
I trust Stockport.
Celtic away to Falkirk. That's on Wednesday. Hearts at home to St Mirren on Wednesday as well. Hearts need to win. And St Mirren are quite crap. Next week in the Champions League, you got Man City, Bodo, Glimt, Bayern, Chelsea, Barca, Inter Lecce, we've already spoken about. Bayern, Cologne. Bayern Leipzig is a big one on the weekend as well. But another standout one, which I didn't realise, Lens are like top of the league. Lens are playing Auxerre. Lens are top of the league, Auxerre like second bottom. Anyway, at Lens as well. PSV are playing someone crap. Sporting, Benfica, Gala and Fenerbahce. They're all playing too. So as usual, guys, we're doing a topic And because this is the first recording of the year, our topic is what are we looking forward to in 2026? What have we made up? What are we going to make up from last year? What mistakes did we make that we're going to rectify? And what's going to drive us to success?
Yeah, mate, I'm not going to start with this new year, new me nonsense, but I do think that I started to do a few things like towards the end of last year, which I don't think were conducive to me winning. So, like, I like an in-play card.
Yeah.
What I started doing was doing in-play, but like picking 2 players instead of 1.
Why?
And that's just because if I'm watching a game and then let's say, I don't know, let's say here's a perfect example, City versus, when City played Chelsea. I was watching the game and I was like, I really think that Enzo's going to go in. Like, I really fancy Enzo Fernandez to go in. But I'm watching the game and I'm like, but I think, like, who's the other player? I think it might have been, was it Nico or Rodri? There was a player for City that I was watching thinking, I think he'll go in as well. Instead of just picking Enzo and sticking with it, I did both of them. And Enzo went in the 90th minute and the City player didn't. And it's just because when I can't decide between 2 players, what I used to do was pick 1. What I started to do towards the end of the year was put both on. And that was silly. And I'm not doing that no more. That's gone. That's out my game now. Done. First half fouls was when I had my really good year, I was winning a lot of first half fouls. And they're good ones because they're only like, 3-1, 4-1. But if you can win a few of those nice little tick over wins, they were good because they'd offset any losses and I could be a bit more confident going in and playing.
Yeah, they just roll you for the rest, bankroll you for the rest of the day.
Yeah, but again with them, they've started drying up now. So the last couple of months, I've barely landed any first half fouls. So I'm just going to cut them out because it's like, why am I persisting with this when it's not delivering me results?
Yeah.
So the first half fouls is out. Putting on 2 players in play is out. I'm just going to go back to watching the game and 1 player. That's it. Or if a couple of players go in separately on both players, I'm just going to do that. Like, because when I was at my height of winning, that's what I was doing. I have added another string to my bow though. Well, one is a new thing I've added. The other one's something that I did a little bit of, but I'm going to do more of. So, but the new thing I've started doing is shot on target from outside of the box.
Okay.
Because if you can, some of the odds you can get are ridiculous, like for certain players. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like, someone like Somerville, for example. Somerville's a left winger, he just cuts in and shoots.
Yeah.
You can get Somerville against some teams for a shot on target outside the box at like 8-1. Now, all he's got to do against, like, if he's at home, all he's got to do is shoot in and just scuff one. Like, John McGinn's another one. You can get John McGinn at like 6-1, 5-1.
Yeah,
and
he always box.
He didn't shoot loads, but there's so many games. He scored a goal against someone the other day where he chipped the keeper. The keeper messed up and he
Forest.
the keeper. Yeah. And I thought about doing him before the game. He was 11-2, didn't do it. Somerville the other day was 7-1, didn't do it. I won on Ampadu. I think I got him at 28-1.
That was against Liverpool, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ampadu was 28-1. Ampadu just sits in centre mid, mate, and just kind of like and because the way Leeds play, he gets the ball a lot on the edge of the area. His odds have dropped now because last game against Newcastle, I didn't do it because he dropped to like 8-1, but he was like 28-1 at Anfield.
That is right.
Player shot on target outside of the box is a market that it's an interesting market.
That is really interesting because like all it takes is a P roller.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you get the right midfielder, like someone like Tillemans is a good example of that.
Tillemans is usually about 3-1.
Yeah, but he's a good example of someone who typically has a shot from outside the box, and half the time it's a P roller.
Yeah, I've seen like Anthony Gordon in some games 5-1. Like
that's nice.
You see, when you think of these wingers who just cut in and spam shots, like
what's gone actually? I'm
not putting any money on him. He can't hit the target. But but like obviously your players who have a lot of shots outside the box, like your Sackers, your
Saka be crap. Yeah,
you usually get around evens for them, which even money's not horrendous, but
no,
it's not great.
But but if you've got someone like Saka or Rodgers who has probably 3 to 4 shots a game, one of them's going to be on from outside the box.
What Saka was against? Because Saka, I swear it was against Chelsea. Saka 2 shots on target was 28-1 outside the box, which is a lot to ask, but he did it.
Did it?
I didn't put it because I thought, oh, that's asking a lot. Because all it is a free kick and then a P roller.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, someone like Saka, Saka rarely shoots in the box. He shoots outside the box more than he shoots in the box.
Yeah, so this is my point where I'm like, this is a market that I'm really gonna focus on this a bit more in 2026. I think obviously I'm gonna get rid of first half fouls and I'm gonna introduce this as a new market that I'm gonna research. I'm gonna check where all players shoot from. I'm gonna look at teams and like how many shots they give up. I'm gonna do a real deep dive into this because I think it's an interesting opportunity. So only thing to be mindful of is it doesn't roll over to subs. So you want to be picking players that are going to pretty much play the 90. So, and then you've always got, if they get injured, you're done. So that's something that you can't legislate for that. But you're picking a player that plays the 90. You know, so many times in games people will have a dig from outside the box and it just hit straight on the keeper's throat.
Oh, yeah.
Bournemouth for a good one. Like Justin Kluivert was 6-1 the other day. And I had him and he hit 2, but just missed outside the box.
One of them ones where you just want the keeper just to get his glove touch on it.
Yeah,
don't need to make time. You just want your keeper. You just want the keeper to get just a touch on it.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, like even like someone like Matty Cash, you might get decent odds for Matty Cash. Like, he loves a dig from outside the box. Williams, Forest, he's had a few. Like, it's just a market I'm going to do a deep dive into, and I'll let people know how I get on with that one.
Well, what you probably want is players that lurk on the edge of the box, like Matty Cash does, or free kicks.
See, free kick takers' odds are already factored in. They're like really low. Like Declan Rice, is like because he takes free kicks for Arsenal. Him and Saka, their odds are quite low. I find the best ones are your centre mids.
Your fullbacks. What about your fullbacks?
Not really. Matty Cash is a bit of an outlier. No, Matty Cash is a bit of an outlier. What I find you want is your centre mid or your wingers who cut in and spam shots.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Matty Cash will probably have 1 shot every 4 games, but he's probably outside the box.
He's an outlier. He's not like most right backs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He scored a couple of goals early in the season. He's got giddy with it.
No, I'm just thinking of players because he sits on the edge of our box on corners. So I'm just thinking of players that mark that territory on a corner.
Yeah.
Obviously,
you also want to think of teams who defend with a low block, because if a team defends with a low block and people can't get through, they like to have a ping. So it's the teams that really stick back in a low block, like going against them. But again, I'm going to do my research into it. It's a market I'm exploring this year, so that's something I'm going to do that's new. And then the one that I'm going to do a bit more of is first player card. I find that such the reason why I like the first player card market is because if I pick someone to go in first, who I'm confident is going to go in the game, if they don't go in first, it stops me from going in play until there's a booking.
Yeah.
So I think to myself, I'm not doing anything in this match until a card's come out.
Yeah.
And then by then I've got a feel for the game, who's on the edge, who's doing stuff. So I really like that. And you can get some really good odds for first player card. Like, I've had it before where, like, say, like a right back against Zakanyi, he's like coming out 16-1. I'm like, are you joking?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, so I think that they're my big takeaways. I'm gonna go back to just betting on one thing rather than multiple things. I'm gonna bin first half fouls. I'm gonna explore the shot outside of the target mark, shot on target from outside the box market, and I'm gonna do a bit more first player card markets. So that's what I'm doing in 2026. What about you? Are you adjusting your strategy at all?
Yeah, I'm going to definitely adjust my strategy because I think I've had a few successes and probably got a bit giddy with it. Is like pulling off like the really long shot accas, like so pulling like an 18-fold out, 20-fold out. Like I've hit some like really good ones, but it's not sustainable. You can't do that every week.
No.
So, like, I think what I have been doing is been doing like 10 to between 10 and 20 folds like consistently. And yeah, it's all great when one comes off and you get like ridiculous return, but it's not getting enough tick over wins. It's not bankrolling my betting for the week. So what I need to do is go back to basics. Probably look between like the kind of 4 and 8, preferably around 5 to 6 mark, and then just like start hitting those. Even if I'm getting like 3 or 4 to 1, just consistently hitting them, because pick 3 or 4 teams to win every week, but trying to hit 18 teams every week is just impossible. There's always going to be one upset. So I think that's what I'm going to do more, is aim for more tick over wins and kind of increase the stakes slightly on those, rather than just putting 5s and 10s on 1,000 to 1. Because the odds of you getting an 18 to 20 fold in is like 0.01%. Like, and it's not even like 1,000 to 1 where you've got the odds say it's like less than that. The actual odds that you break once you actually break it down. So yeah, back to basics. Start hitting more tick over wins, probably more 5 folds, and just trying to be more consistent with winning rather than trying to look for the big fish.
Yeah. And that's similar to what I'm thinking with me. Like I said, I know it's slightly different within plays, but instead of why am I picking 2 players to get booked in play? Just go back to 1. Just start winning more regularly.
Yeah.
And trying to reach for like stupid wins. It doesn't make sense.
And I'm going to stop with first half fouls too. I've never been great in that market. I think because I see you doing so well in it and so much success. I do little bits here and there, but then my stakes are like 5-10 quid. So then I end up putting loads of legs on to try and increase it to get like a half decent return when it's just not possible.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Like I said, I'm done with that market. Like it's dried up for me so much the last few. Like,
and the odds are crap. The odds are getting worse.
Yeah, the odds are definitely like they weren't not as generous as they were last. They've definitely adjusted the odds this year, and they're just not coming in. There's a lot more. I don't know. The refs seem to like play on a lot more, and like the amount of times I've seen a player I've got for a first half foul, he fouls someone, the ref just plays on. I'm just sick of it. So yeah, mate. It sounds like we're both just in the same boat, just trying to take it back to basics a little bit, and just to try hit a few more wins of smaller amounts rather than going for a bit more aggressive betting with like larger wins.
Well, if anything, the more aggressive betting is actually lower odds and more bets. The long shots are a bit more passive, isn't it? It's like, oh, we're just hoping for the best. We've only got like a 0.1% chance.
Yeah.
So if you want to call it being more aggressive and just be more tenacious with it and be like, okay, I'm going to have slightly higher stake and then lower odds, and then just get the win stacking up. At the end of the day, we need to bankroll the next bet, or otherwise it's just coming out of our bank balance.
Exactly. And that's always the thing, isn't it? It's like always warning signs when it's actually getting to the point. If you ever get to the point where you're in negative, then that's when it's like...
No, but it's not necessarily about being... It's not necessarily about being negative, in the negative, because I'm not in the negative, but it's just the consistency of hitting the big long shots is just like far away. So even if I won a $3,000, I pretty much spend that $3,000. So I'm back into... that's not necessarily in the bank account in a reserve just for my betting, is it? Spend that, then it's just back into business as usual.
Yeah. So what I'm expecting from you then is I'm expecting you to be posting more accas to the people that are smaller amounts. If I see big 20 folds coming from you every other week, mate, I'm not going to be happy.
I know I say that, and I've just got an 18 fold on for the weekend already.
I know you've probably already got a 20 fold on.
I've got an 18 fold on already.
But mate, you need to practice what you preach.
Exactly, and never back the early kickoff.
And then you've gone and got man. Funny guy. Can't wait.
I can't help myself. Just can't help myself. But next week, when it's like 4-0 to City after the first 10 minutes. As usual, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you had a great 2025 and 2026 serves you even better. Don't forget to like, comment and share. And good luck for the week and the weekend ahead. Peace out.
Peace out until next time. And do not forget Mark Cucurella. He's definitely going in this week.
Cucurella.
And don't forget to tune in next week for Never Back the Early Kickoff. Thanks for watching. Follow us across socials for more. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please gamble responsibly. 18+.